Hello everyone, this is Killenberg. Today I'm going to be talking about whether I think Dragon Ball would work in live action or not. Now for those that don't know, in 2009, they actually made a live action Dragon Ball movie. It was called Dragon Ball Evolution. This movie was really bad. I can honestly say it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. However, it wasn't made by fans. The writer even admitted he only did it for money. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Whether or not it would actually work in live action isn't an easy thing to answer. Now, I'm going to discuss one issue. A lot of people haven't seen the original Dragon Ball. Like, I've actually seen people complain about Evolution, and the complaints were things they got right. Like, a big one I see is that Goku's grandpa's name is Gohan. That is correct. Goku's grandpa's name is Gohan. He named his son after his grandpa. Grandpa Gohan was in the franchise first. Another complaint I see is that Piccolo is the villain. And I've even seen people say Piccolo isn't bad. Okay, the one in the movie, I'm assuming is supposed to be King Piccolo, because they call him Lord Piccolo. But either way, Piccolo was bad. He turned good. Now there's one complaint that I kind of understand. People say in Evolution, the dragon's name is Shenlong instead of Shenron. This is kind of complicated. In Japan, his name is Shenlong. However, in the Funimation version, they changed his name to Shenron. I've also seen people who didn't know that the Dragon Balls turned into stone for 1 year. Yes, that was said in the anime. I've also seen people complain that Goku didn't become a Super Saiyan in Evolution. He didn't become a Super Saiyan in the original series. That wasn't until Dragon Ball Z. Now, where should the live action movie or show start? If it's a show, it wouldn't be that big a deal. But if they make another movie, where should they start? I mean, of course, they're probably going to start with Bulma meeting Goku. Or at least it's going to be in the movie. But do they have Roshi training Goku and Krillin? Do they do the tournament? Do they do the Red Ribbon Army? Or do they go straight to King Piccolo? Or do they skip the original series altogether and go straight to Z? Now, Dragon Ball can be done in live action. There's actually fan films right here on YouTube that are pretty well made. Unfortunately, a lot of them rely on donations. And it sucks in my opinion because Hollywood has all this money, but they don't want to actually follow the story. Now I will admit some of it might seem weird in live action. For those who've never seen Dragon Ball, there's talking animals and, dinosaurs. But there's also floating cars. They also have these capsules that can fit whatever you can think of. A house, a car. That one wouldn't be too hard to do though. Like they could probably use the smoke like they do in the anime. Now, if they do make another live-action thing of Dragon Ball, I would say make it a TV series. That way they don't have to cut as much out, and they can follow it like the anime and the manga. Now, where it ends might be an issue too, because do they follow GT, or do they follow Super? I will admit Super is more likely. Now, I know the special effects can be done, because like I said, there's fan-made videos on YouTube. Now, I do wonder if they'd use the Japanese names, or the American names. Most likely American, I guess. Now, here's how I would do it. I would have it show Goku going to Earth and Grandpa Gohan finding him. And I would have him as a baby. Because for those that don't know, Minus and Super actually retconned Goku's story. He was 3 when he went to Earth now. But I would actually make him still a baby. However, I would actually borrow the idea of him wearing the Saiyan armor. I know that's not how the anime started and that's not how the manga started. But we all know Goku is an alien now. Now if it was a movie, I would either make a few Dragon Ball movies, to cover the arcs, or I'd have them skip to King Piccolo, but show, scenes of the time skip. Like, it says something like, as Goku progressed, and we see him training with Krillin, and, we see the tournament and all that, and even the Red Ribbon Army. However, the Red Ribbon Army, that might be something people want to see. So maybe they could make a movie based on that. But after he defeats King Piccolo, I would have him getting married to Chi-Chi. Then at the very end, I would either have Chi-Chi get pregnant, or they skip past that and they show Gohan as a baby. Then of course with Z, I would start with Raditz, and then move on to Nappa and Vegeta. Then the next one could be them going to Namek. And of course they have to fight Frieza eventually. You can't do Dragon Ball without Goku versus Frieza. I'm actually surprised Evolution didn't skip to Frieza actually. Then I have the androids and then Cell. I don't know about Majin Buu. I don't know if it would get that far. But if they did make a Buu movie, it should actually start with the Great Saiyan Man. And I know people aren't going to like that, but that's how it went. Although, I don't know if they could really pull that off to make that one movie, or if they'd have to make it more than one. I mean, even if they follow that, it might be like a teen movie. Now, as far as Shenron goes, make him actually look like Shenron this time. And if Akira Toriyama agrees to do the movie, please listen to what he says. Because that was one of the things Evolution didn't do. They had him as an executive producer, but they didn't listen to him at all. Oh, and at the beginning, I want Goku to have a tail, too. Evolution didn't do that for some reason. Now, I wouldn't mind if they showed the 10-year time skip that was at the end of Dragon Ball Z. A lot of people mistake this as scenes from GT, but they're not. From there on, I'm not sure. Because I'm one of the people who likes GT and Super. So I wouldn't mind either way. I also wouldn't mind if they made a live-action version of the history of Trunks and Bardock's story. Now, another issue with the live-action would be some of the characters don't have real hair colors. Like Bulma, she has blue hair, and Trunks has purple hair. I guess they could dye their hair, and I don't mean that streak that Bulma had in Evolution. Like the actress that plays her could dye her hair completely. Actually, from what I heard, she was actually going to, but they asked her not to. I guess they could do that with Trunks as well. Or maybe they could make them wear wigs. But I think dyeing would be a little better, because it would look more authentic. Now, as far as the talking animals and dinosaurs go, they could probably just do CGI for that. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys want to hear me do a discussion about Dragon Ball, I did a discussion with Jule Saynes. Shout out to him. His channel is Resident of Collinwood. I'll put a link in the description.